Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today's message is all about the fact that it is the trust within ourselves is generated through self-respecting acts. And again, this is playing out in my life. So I'm always, my daily messages are always something going on in my life that I'm finding valuable in my learning, and I'm sharing them in the hope that you too can gain some value from, what's going on. So firstly, I just wanted to mention that, so many of us, everything in terms of reaching our highest potential is determined by our level of trust within ourselves. And what I've been presented with the opportunity so many times, particularly in the last month or so, in order to that opportunity for growth has been all around setting healthy boundaries. And that is one form of a self-respecting act. And what I've found is through that journey that it is making me stronger and stronger. When I'm faced with these opportunities or challenges to grow this part of myself, because naturally it feels really unnatural to me to have to lay down the law and express the rules here and sort of enforce the rules, be that law enforcer. That is just totally not who I am and not what I feel energized by. But that's really the reason why I've been presented with these opportunities for growth, because if we just avoid the things that feel uncomfortable, we never really grow. And when we avoid the opportunities that are being presented to us to have that growth, that pattern just keeps running and running and running, and we get presented with another opportunity in a different format and another opportunity until we get the message that there's a lesson here to be learned. And that's been my experience over this last couple of months probably. But really, just having to step up my game in terms of creating some healthy boundaries and really communicating that, because the other part of being self-respecting is we also need to be respecting of others. So it's not just about us identifying what's my healthy boundary, boom, they broke it, they're out. We actually have to have the courage to communicate about what our boundaries are, what's happened here, so that we can give that person an opportunity to make it, to make the relationship better, as opposed to just, expecting them to be a mind reader and expect them to know what's right and wrong for us. And instead, we've got to train others how to treat us. So we need to give them the opportunity to meet us with our healthy boundaries, respect us with the ways that we're communicating to them. And it is only when they then break those kind of boundaries, when we've already, laid down the law, we've had to put ourselves into that uncomfortable zone. And if they consistently break that, past the fact that you've even communicated, then you have to get to that point, as uncomfortable as it is, and as much as you don't want to have to go there, you kind of have to go there, because if you don't, you are sending a message to yourself that you don't value yourself, that you don't really that's that value of yourself and respect of yourself. Sorry, I lost the word for a second. And so when we don't follow that enforcement of our healthy boundaries, and we just let, them sort of take over our lives, we are defeating and really diminishing our trust and our belief in ourselves, because we're really just sending ourselves that message: you're not valuable enough, I don't respect you enough. And therefore, why would anybody trust somebody who treated them like that? How could you trust somebody who doesn't value you and doesn't respect you? Well, you've got to stop sending those messages to yourself. And instead, you've got to identify what's healthy for you. You've got to be able to communicate about it. And that's the first step. And then if people don't follow through, if people have, you've expressed, you're training them how to treat you, they can't follow through, they keep impeding on your boundaries, then you need to, for your own times over this last couple of months, and it's been really painful and really uncomfortable and put me in these positions where I just don't want to be in. That was my mentality, but ultimately I've shifted my perspective on that. I've recognized that I'm being given the opportunity to learn the lesson, and until I step up with courage and enforce the rules, no matter how uncomfortable it is, I'm going to continue to get given this same lesson. And so that's what I've had to do, and my journey through that period has been amazing. Like, I'm so grateful for those people in my life who've, brought that lesson to me and given me another opportunity to learn and grow, because I have, and it's made me stronger. And it's certainly sending the message to me that I trust myself. I believe in myself, because I know that I will enforce my best intentions. My higher self will take care of me, and it won't let others impede on my boundaries and disrespect me and devalue me. So that is why I wanted to bring this message to you guys, in the hope that it gets you thinking about, what are your current challenges? What are those opportunities for growth right now? And I'm talking particularly into setting healthy boundaries for yourself. What's right for you? And then be able to communicate about that openly. And if people keep impeding and impeding and impeding on those healthy boundaries for you, unfortunately, yes, they've put you in this position where you just might not feel very comfortable. But at the end of the day, transform that mindset to an opportunity for growth. And you can't grow without the challenge, and learn the lesson so it doesn't keep circulating in your life. And trust me, it will serve you wonders in reaching higher levels of your potential and really building that trust within yourself. So really hoping that this is valuable to you guys. And before I check in with you guys, I hope that so many of you yesterday, again, you inspired me so much because of the beautiful connections that you guys are building and supporting one another. And so I created that group yesterday, the Limitless Potential Inner Circle, and already got a bunch of members joined, and they're already helping, supporting, sharing their challenges, their struggles, gaining that support and encouragement, and creating a community of like-minded people. So I really hope that, you listening to this message, I hope you get in there. I've put the link on this video so you can just request to join. I'll approve you. I can't wait to have you in there, and I can't wait to connect deeper with you guys on a deeper level, in like-minded, and reach our limitless potentials together. So definitely do that, and I'll check in with you guys. So I've got Ram's back, and Hassani's back, and Moises, and Mercedes, and Thomas. Much love to you, Thomas, and Graham, and Moises. Yes, great to have you here. And Rian, and Abdul, and Swadim, and Savula, and Christy, and Carolina. Love it. And Katie, and Gary, and Wes, and Melita. Good morning to you, Graham. And Kim's back. I love it. I'm loving that this is resonating with you, Ram. And good evening to you, Robbie from Atlanta. And Asha, and Thomas, and Dully, I think your name is. Thanks for being here. And Shane's in the house. I love it. And Caden, awesome. And SP, if you don't set your own boundaries, you won't be able to hold the water to irrigate your own field. Yes, I love your poetic sort of words there, SP. That's awesome. You have to get intentional about your boundaries. Nobody is a mind reader. You have to do the work to identify what is healthy for you, communicate about it, and then if people keep breaking the rules after you've clearly communicated, you have to have the courage to let them go. All right, but not before you've given them an opportunity to make amends and shift their behavior. Unless it's, we're not talking about actual real abuse here. We're just talking about your everyday life and what's healthy for you in those relationships. So that's a whole nother story if we're talking about getting into really deep abuse. But yeah, that's love that. Thanks for sharing, SP. And Shane, good morning to you. Steve's here. I love it. Love that this is resonating with you, Shane. And Ram, self-trust is the first prerequisite for self-growth in all areas of life. Most definitely, you know, whether we believe we can or whether we think we can or we think we can't, you know, Henry Ford, we're right. So definitely, and you have to be able to trust yourself in order to reach any particular goal. Otherwise, you just get caught up in this sabotage. You keep breaking your own rules. So definitely, I agree there, Ram. And Nadia, I love that this is resonating with you. And Lewis and Bruno, thanks for being here. And Kaden, yes, I've lived both sides of this. Self-respect, trust must be enforced by protecting healthy boundaries. This will quickly show who's really been alongside with you. This will even cause you to attract more valuable connection in your life. I could not agree more with you there, Kaden, and I share your journey. It's one I'm still on and still obviously learning the lessons for in terms of those healthy boundaries. So I love that you're on that journey, Kaden, and thanks so much as always for sharing your experience here. And Wes, hard to change the behavior of others sometimes, but to create real value of self, it's necessity. Awesome, awesome, Wes, and I thank you for those words. I absolutely love it, and it's so true. We actually can't change the behavior of others, but we can influence it. And better yet, we influence it by being intentional about the quality of relationships we're looking to create. And if we want extraordinary quality of relationship with anybody else, we have to firstly be self-aware and be able to have the courage to communicate about what our needs are, what our values are, and definitely what our healthy boundaries are, and be willing to enforce the law and move on if those things cannot be met after communication. So love that, Wes, and love having you here. And Fernando, nice to have you. And Brian's back, I love it. And Ram, only when we have self-trust can we truly trust others and have synergistic relations. Yes, definitely. That's something that I've been it's kind of meditating on a lot. Like when we don't trust ourselves, we often project our own experience onto others, and that goes for everything. So our own experience is like the filter that we project onto the rest of the world. It's like the screen. And so I definitely agree with you. You know, and without trust, we can't really have depth of connection. So you got to do that work to build that trust on yourself by identifying, by caring for yourself, by being self-respecting. That is really what generates that trust within ourselves. And therefore, then we have more trust and openness and understanding to be able to fully trust others and get deeper in our connections with them. So love that, Ram. Thanks for your kind words there, Moises. I'm sending much love to you. And Ray and Gabrielle, thanks for being here. And John and Colin and Sashank, thanks for being here. And I appreciate your kind words, Colin, from the UK. I love it. And Hassan, it's awesome to have you. And Mike and Colin, intention is your intention and your reaction is your creation. Oh, sorry, intention is your invention, yes, and your reaction is your creation. I love that. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing there, Colin. And great to hear that you're motivated by this, Shashank. And Philip, thanks for being here. And Jeannie's in the house. I love it. And awesome. And Julie's here. And Sarah. Awesome, guys. And yeah, same to you, Shane. Have an awesome day. I love that you were able to catch some of the live today. And guys, yes, awesome, guys. So, you know, really, I hope that this message is valuable. I really want each and every one of you to think seriously about coming and joining us over at the Limitless Potential Inner Circle. It's all free. It's all for us to create a really safe, close-knit community where we can share with all of these sort of important messages together and get the support, you know, get that encouragement from one another. You know, oftentimes in our lives, we just don't have the support network that we need. You know, we don't think the same way as the people in our lives. And we, you know, it's kind of like, you know, the whole thing, love your family, choose your peers. And that's what I want to create in this community. I want a safe place where we all feel like we can talk about the stuff that matters, and we have somebody who's got our back, you know, through the challenges, and we have a sounding board, and we can encourage each other to step into that limitless potential. And that's what you guys have inspired me to do and create, because I've seen that kindness and that interaction and that support already with you guys just on these Facebook Lives. So I'm sending you guys so much love, so much appreciation. You guys light up my day, and I can't wait to have you in the Limitless Potential Inner Circle, and I certainly can't wait to catch you guys tomorrow on another live. So make sure, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, any ideas for topics you'd love for me to just dive into for you, then definitely let me know. Pop down a comment below or send me a message, whatever works best for you. And I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Sending you all my love.